Good afternoon, Brisas geckos. Good afternoon, Mrs. Winkleman.
Good afternoon, Miss Tilly. I'm excited to have the attention of our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade parents with us today. We've got some quick information that we know is important to you before we return in person. So here we go.
Well, we want to make sure that everyone is prepared with everything that they need on the first day. So please plan on Thursday when you are returning to us to have all of your instructional materials with you and bring them to school. If that's too much to bring all in one day, then plan to bring them and spread them out a few days over those first few days of school. We also want to make sure that each child has everything that was indicated on their grade level supply list, and that all of those materials are coming to school with them either on the very first day or spread out between those first 2 or 3 days. In addition to that, we want to make sure that your child has headphones with earbuds and a microphone. They will be accessing some lessons online still when they return to us, that they have their personal water bottle. Our water fountains are not in service at this time. We are making sure everybody has their own personal water bottle, so they will need to bring one of their own to use throughout the day, and that they have a towel. We will talk about this coming up in a few more slides, but we have lunch and recess zones that will allow for students to have some time outside where they have their own designated space with their own personal towels. So please make sure that they have those materials when they return to us on that first day.
All right, awesome. And then, of course, in regards to mitigation for COVID-19, we are doing several different strategies to make sure that your students are safe. So if you've not heard by now, we want to make sure you're aware that every single one of our classrooms have HEPA filters now that are in the room that are filtering the air, which is a wonderful benefit to students and staff. We also are requiring that all students and staff wear a face covering. There has been some clarifications in terms of what those face coverings can be. So please make sure that your students are coming with a cloth mask that covers their nose and their mouth. We are not able to have gaiters or masks that have valves. And then no shields either. We do have some students or staff that may have a shield on campus, but they would be having a shield in addition to a mask. Also, please know that hand washing is a huge emphasis in Kyrene in terms of one of our mitigation strategies. And so we will be teaching and emphasizing hand washing throughout the day. And then also there will be repeated disinfectant procedures happening in each environment in the classroom, and then also, out at recess and different things to make sure that all the materials and equipment are safe for students.
We want to be sure that when you drop off on that first morning that you are remembering how our drop off and pickup procedures go. So we have 2 entrances. One enters into the large lot in front of Apprende Middle School and in front of our front office, and the other enters where those yellow arrows are, and that will be dropping off in front of our recess areas and our playground area. So if you are dropping off in the large lot, the lot with the green arrows in front of the library there, you will be entering Desert Breeze from Ray Road. So make sure that you are entering from Ray Road if you're trying to access that drop-off spot. And then if you are using the yellow arrow lot, you are entering from McClintock Drive. So depending on which lot you need to access, you need to either be turning onto Desert Breeze from Ray Road for that lot, green lot, or from McClintock Drive for that yellow arrow lot. So this will show you which lot you need to be using. So for pre-K and 2nd grade in the morning, you will need to be accessing Desert Breeze from Ray Road to drop off in the lot in front of the library. For kinder, 1st, 3rd, and 4th, those are all going to be entering from McClintock Drive in the morning to drop off in front of the field and playground. 5th grade families, you can use either lot, whichever is most convenient for you, or if there's younger siblings, whichever is most convenient for them. And because their designated entrance door is right in the middle. So we want to make sure that you are using those lots that are indicated per grade level, and that as you're dropping off in the morning, you do not park your vehicle. Everybody is using a curbside drop off, so all students are expected to be dropped off at the curb. Students can be dropped off anytime between 7:15 and 7:30. 7:15, our teachers are on duty and ready to welcome students into their classrooms, so students will be going straight into classrooms at that time in that window. School starts on the dot at 7:30 a.m. So students need to be in their classroom by 7:30. So please plan accordingly to make sure that your child is dropped off in that window between 7:15 and 7:30 so that they can start their day of learning on time. Once the 7:30 bell rings, students are considered late. So all students who are arriving late to school must be signed in by a parent and given a pass to be marked tardy. So if you're arriving anytime after 7:30, we need you pulling into the lot in front of the library, in front of our front office, and there will be staff out there to assist you and to help get students signed in, get them a tardy pass, and get them off to class.
All right. Well, thank you. And new this year, we do have designated entrances and exits for every grade level. That's also part of our safe return to school mitigation plan. So since you have either a third, fourth, or fifth grader, when you're looking at this map, we'd like to just draw your attention to the orange line, which is third grade. So if you have a third grader, you'll be coming into that parking lot, like Ms. Tilly said, from McClintock and pulling in over there by the playground. Your child is going to walk straight down the fire lane and enter the building towards the multi-purpose room there, signaled by the orange arrows. And then if you have a fourth grader, they're actually going to be coming in right there by the purple arrow. You'll see a picture in just a minute to see what that looks like. And then if your child in fifth grade, then they will be going into one of our centermost doors that are open. So again, just everything is color coded. So let your child know what color they need to be looking for. And then it'll be very clearly marked where they need to enter and exit the building. The next picture right there shows you what those stickers look like. And so those are the stickers that students are going to be looking for. And then they will indicate which direction they need to go to find their entry point. Also, those are our signs. And so you can see again, clearly each of our grade levels have designated doors, and those are the ones that they will be using throughout the day, not just in the morning and at dismissal time, but anytime that they're heading outside to go to recess or somewhere else in the building, they'll be using those designated doors.
Okay, so for lunch and recess, when they're with us during the school day, we have different designated zones. The purpose of that is for students to remain in their cohorts, and they will have the opportunity to alternate between eating in an assigned zone and eating in their classroom daily. So it just gives them some variety to their day. We have different lunch zones indicated there in teal. Those are the places that they will be going, and our recess zones are indicated in purple there on that map. Recess is going to operate the same way. They will alternate through different recess zones that have different equipment, so they can have some variety in their AM recess and in their PM recess with different options for them to enjoy that time, and also allowing for them to remain in their cohorts so they're not mixing with other classes of students. Outside of lunchtime, if weather permits, those lunch zones, the teal zones, will be used for learning throughout the school day. And for that reason, if they're using those for learning or if they're using those for lunch, students will need to bring a towel. It will give them an opportunity to have a little spot that is just their own, that they can picnic or that they can work from that little space when they are in those outdoor lunch and learning zones.
Awesome. And we had shared in an earlier communication that we were excited to have free breakfast and lunch for all of our students. So please know that you are welcome to send your child to school with a lunch. But in addition to that, we also can provide them with a free hot lunch for our students. There will be 2 different choices for lunch, and then a bagged breakfast that will also be made available to them at no cost. So please take advantage of that.
Okay. We are going to be emphasizing, as Mrs. Wingelman had mentioned earlier, hand washing procedures. So when your students arrive with us on the first day, that is a procedure that we are going to be teaching, and teaching the specific times throughout the day that they must be washing their hands. So To continue to keep students as separate as possible, we are going to have separate restrooms that have been identified for each grade level. So there will be a grade level specific restroom for them to use. And those hand washing procedures are going to be expected anytime a student enters or leaves the classroom, as well as before and after lunches, recess, and restroom breaks.
All right. And then we do have some different strategies that we'll be using in the front office as well. So at this point, we still are not able to have visitors or volunteers in the building. But if there is some type of school business that's required, we certainly want you to reach out to us and we can make arrangements for you either to come in person if that's necessary, or we can Zoom with you and make sure that all of your needs are met. Also, if you forgot, maybe if your child forgot a certain item, lunchbox, water bottle, backpack, homework, anything like that, at this time, we're asking that those not come to school to be delivered. We're trying to not interrupt as many of those cohorts as possible with different items like that. So please know if your child did forget their lunchbox, we will provide them with a lunch at no cost. If they forgot their water bottle, we will provide them with a disposable bottle of water that they can refill and so forth. And so we're just going to continue to be accommodating, but if you can do your part at home to see if your kiddos can be as prepared as possible before walking out the door, that of course it would be super appreciated. We appreciate your understanding with that.
We have specific health office procedures now that include a separate well and sick area and also a designated door for well and sick students. So if students are exhibiting any COVID-like symptoms, they are going to be visiting the health office to be evaluated and then sent home for the day. So we will be in communication with families about when it is appropriate and following those CDC guidelines for when a student can return to school following any COVID-like symptoms.
All right, and afternoon pickup looks a little different this year as well. We are asking again that you do not park your vehicle when you come for pickup. We are expecting all of our students to be picked up on the curb. Students will be picked up by grade level designated lots and at designated times. So it is very important that you know the time and lot that your child will be needing to be picked up in. So if you're a third, fourth, or fifth grade family, who's my audience today listening to this video, third grade will always be picked up underneath the shaded area in front of the library, and your pickup time will be at 1:35 p.m. If you have a fourth grader, then you would be picking up your child from the lot over by the playground area, and that time would be at 1:45 p.m. And if you have a fifth grader, then we will be seeing you in the lot over by the library at 1:40 p.m. Now, if you have younger siblings, we are going to be having your older children meet up with your younger child during the younger child's time and the location. So just please be aware of where that is and at what time. We also ask that you not enter that parking lot until your child's designated time. We've been kind of working through this procedure now for the last week with our kindergarten through third grade students, and we will be asking any family that pulls up to the lot prior to their designated time to pull out of the lot and wait on Desert Breeze until it is their time. Your children are not out there at that point, and you being on that curb just delays the pickup for everyone else. So we know that that's not intentional, but that's just kind of how that works. So we will be monitoring the signs that are in your windows, and that is also helping us to call students' names, and we will walk your student to your vehicle. So if we happen to notice that you're there early, then we will be asking you to exit the parking lot and just remain on Desert Breeze until it is your designated time. We appreciate your support with that.
All right. Well, we're excited to welcome everybody back and have a smooth, safe return to school.
Yes, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call in our front office. That number is 480-541-2000. And again, we look forward to seeing you all bright and early on Thursday morning.
Yes. Bye, Brisas Geckos.